It is pretty late though, so we're not gonna want
Yeah,
to do this for very long.
it definitely is. I did press go live, by the way.
Okay, and while you're here, I guess we'll just do the salads and bolts translation separately, but we might as well do that while we're
Exactly,
here.
yeah.
I need to
Hello,
grab my
hello.
But we are
laptop
live.
charger.
Hello! Hello, War Chief Mozone.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
Ozone or Muzone?
Ozone.
So, addressing the title of this stream and why we're doing it at 4 a.m., it's because Kamui just got back from the hospital. So that's addressing he was in the hospital question mark with the thumbnail. So Kamui, how was that experience?
It was like at a hospital. I don't really know how to explain it, but
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, so Kamui was really
yeah,
sick.
I just
He's actually is still sick. He's been sick for a couple days, but
yeah, it's a type of pneumonia, but
oh dang.
my dad had the
Yeah,
same
food
thing earlier
poisoning.
this year, actually. The food poisoning, salads and bowls.
Yeah, he didn't have
Who is a
that.
different person?
It was someone else. The other translator. Anyways, Dorian, you had a topic that you wanted me to translate, and I thought it was a really interesting topic, but if you want to go ahead and present it for the stream.
And I can get the Japanese scans in a few minutes here, which, by the way, so I can't do that on my phone, Dorian, but not only have we not streamed until now, but I literally can't get the Japanese on my phone. It's a pain in the ass. I have to use my laptop, which I haven't had for several days because
Do
I
you
don't
have the
bring that to the
Japanese?
hospital.
Do you have the Japanese raw
Not yet.
scan?
I'm
Raw
going to
scan.
get it now that I have my laptop. I will get it in a minute, but I did not have it.
Yeah,
The
for the
I
hospital
just
record,
met a
cleaner,
Japanese guy downstairs
we haven't streamed
yesterday.
for a week.
I just met a Japanese guy downstairs yesterday.
Nice,
Probably
nice.
show it to him.
uh, wait.
He speaks perfect.
So
He
you
doesn't speak very good
need
English.
Oh wow.
So hold on. You didn't need the translation? You have a Japanese guy?
Well, I just thought of it when you just spoke about the translation. And so, he watches anime, so I'm sure. I know I barely know the guy either, too. So that's why, you know, he doesn't speak very good English. But he can text me on Instagram, sure.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Well, while Kamui is looking for his thing, do you want to go ahead and present the topic?
Oh, wait. Has he already told you what it's about?
Well, I was just hoping that you could do it for the stream, and that way I can do the translation as well.
Okay. I was just going on about how I believe that there's going to be another character introduced into the franchise, Akebi, because they're building her up to be this, mysterious person of a model and why a model's going so hard for her. And so I started thinking, well, what is his real goal? And he used the word dreams in one of the panels. And I said, okay, dreams is one of the things that makes it plural, meaning he's got more than one goal. I thought his goal was just one thing, but then when he used the word dreams with an S, it makes me think, oh, this guy has more than one agenda, going on. So I put together a theory of, I don't know where to a model having stage six paths kind of motivations, to change the world or what he perceived as the better, you know. And just like the sage, there's flaws he didn't see right away, which turned into
No way, Miss
chaos
And is
later
here.
on. There is
Miss
That's
And, we
perfect.
need you. This is perfect.
Okay. Well, this should be the panel.
Okay, but please go ahead.
Ignore the fact
Sorry
there's a
for
watermark on the top.
interrupting. I just had to say that. LOL is right. But please go ahead, finish the topic, or restart it from sand if you want.
Yeah. And so I was just going on about like how, as I'm going on into this theory, I was looking at how there's so much, as I stated in prior theory, but this one before the guy who just walked in, a lot of the franchise is following very similar paths of Shippuden, but they do it in reverse. And so, like I giving examples of how I think in the first season, Amato is Obito because they have so much in common. But instead of Amato being or Obito, it's Amato because Amato is so weak. He's the weakest person in the series. Versus in Sage was the strongest one in the series. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, he's doing the same thing in season two or part two of Boruto because he's the weakest one, but he's doing the same thing. So he's switching the roles around, just like how uh, Boruto he's the symbol of the moon, versus in Shippuden, Naruto is the symbol of the sun, and that's been shown several times throughout Shippuden. That's why he glows yellow, and as when Sage gave him the sun as his marking. So, and it's also interesting how Mitsuki regards Boruto as the sun, even though the Jogan, when it appears in Boruto's eye, looks like the moon, full moon. So I thought that was strange. I said, okay, but he regards Boruto as his son, and so I said, okay, so they flipped the whole thing around, because he's Sasuke's student, and so he wants to be the Shadow Hokage. So I'm guessing that's that dynamic. The sun is supposed to be in Naruto symbolize the one who shines and gives hope to the whole shinobi world, and the moon is the one who makes the Hokage looks good and does everything in the background, just like Danzo, just like Itachi, just like Sasuke. Those are supposed to be like the suns or the moons, and so I think that's a lot of what I'm learning and leaning to. And so I can put the theory on. Actually, I can't do that. I sent the theory to Kamui. I don't know if he sent it to you because it's just too much to go over in this short period of time.
Nah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually,
I was just, but
oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I have a post about talking about why Mitsuki calls Boruto the sun that has to do with like astrology related stuff because Japan is really big into astrology. So it isn't really necessarily about Boruto being like having like sun abilities, but more of like how the sun is perceived by astrology, I guess. It was just a theory. It's not like a for certain thing or anything, but I also had like some info from the light novels about why Mitsuki calls Boruto sun, like as he's stated, instead of just like in the anime. It doesn't really explain that much. But anyway, yeah, sorry. I just
I'm
figured it'd
going to
find out.
this. I'm going to this. Like, look at it, Kawaki. He does the same thing to Naruto. So he's saying, oh, he sees Naruto as basically his son as well. So he's like, everybody is like, drawn to something. Like Sarada and what's her name? The class rep lady is drawn to Naruto or like Boruto. And so it's like they're all drawn to some kind of astrology. I'm starting to notice. Let's see, even like what's her name? Ada. She's drawn to Boruto as well, and she was drawn at first. She was drawn to Kawaki. Now she's drawn to Boruto. Now the roles of the switch. But she noticed that Boruto doesn't give off that shine, like as Boruto said to Vortex, that he doesn't give off that. He doesn't give off. He's not your son. I am. Is what he said to Michiko. And so uh, everybody's starting to realize, hey, you know what? There's something about this guy that is drawing us all towards him. And yeah,
That's
I'm sorry.
interesting. Now, I will note with the Amado thing, you definitely heavily emphasize all the various like cybernetic stuff with them. And like mentioning the things of like how Delta put up a good fight versus Naruto, or like how Amado may believe humans in the Boruto universe have stopped evolving and just stuck to like the permanent like age of Shinobi. It was like heavily
You have
influenced by
read it.
Yotsuki.
You have read it. I haven't told that part yet. So I know you read the little theory.
Yeah, I remember reading some of it, but either way, in chapter 75, Amino does make it clear that Kara's strength really comes from Shibai rather than like the ninja tech.
Ooh, no, that's not true. I proved it to Kamui as well. Um, it's not that's not been stated at all. Matter of fact, even when you look at the when I pulled it up on GPT and also the wiki, I couldn't find anything that says that's true. The reason why Code and Power members are strong because they had cybernetic enhancements, not because of Shibai's DNA. Matter of fact, if you look at Code, before he even got Shibai's DNA, he was like unlimited code or what do they call it? A limitless code. So he was able still stronger than Jigen, even though he was still told to be stronger than Jigen even before he got his limiters, or not limiters, but Shibai DNA, and also Delta. She's pretty strong, even though she has no manifestation of Shibai's DNA. Even the new one, Delta that we have in Conan, she's pretty strong and she has no Shibai's DNA. So what I'm getting at is Boro didn't he wasn't strong because of Shibai's DNA. He was strong because of the cybernetic enhancements. He had what the healing, the rapid healing. He had viruses. He had whatever else he had, but nothing shown that saying that he was stronger because of Shibai's DNA.
So, whereas yes, you also have to keep in mind that Amado's technology is a vehicle for transplanting cells, and he does actually just have some like ninja tech things he's made. But the actual thing making Kara strong is the Shibai cells, which, he then explains about like Delta's performance versus Naruto. Amado's like attributing her strength to Shibai cells, not to the ninja tech. Koji tells us in chapter 13, Tubular Vortex as well, that all of Kara was given Shibai cells, and just because they didn't awaken a Shinjutsu
Well,
doesn't mean they
most of
don't
them.
get any benefit.
Most of it. If that's the case, then Skywalker would also have Shibai's DNA as well.
Well, Amado does
Which I,
suggest that they did. And also, like, furthermore, Amado does also appear obsessed with the Shinjutsu of the Otsutsuki, which is really important. And most notably the karma, especially, like calling the Otsutsuki's gods, the power of a god, etc., which just doesn't suggest that the Otsutsuki influence on shinobi would make them stop evolving. If anything, like, he'd be indicating that shinobi aren't being influenced enough, like, at all. Like, it's the Otsutsuki, if anything. So, like, there's way less science mumbo jumbo since chapter 75, which I feel like is a really missed opportunity. But, like, that isn't to say there's like no scientific ninja technology at all, obviously, but like it just hasn't been a point of emphasis for so long that it like basically begs the question of whether that really Ikimoto's interest at all anymore. Like it's kind of tough to say, honestly.
here it is. Okay, so I've been looking for this for a while. Okay, no, actually, when you said that Kimoto, what? Damn, losing my train of thought. You said that it was Amato who is obsessed with Shibai's DNA. I think that's not true at all. He's obsessed with reviving his daughter, which he's using the karma. So that is not a part of Shibai's DNA. It's just an associate ability. He use he's trying to use the karma to revive his daughter. That's all he's been able to say about what he's obsessed with. He even called them. In fact, he even called Asushiki in the manga. He called them parasites, meaning like that's not a term of endearment. That's more of like, hey, guys are not you guys are parasites, or just an insult, pretty much. So what I'm getting at is I don't think that's true when he says he is obsessed with them. He's obsessed with the abilities of that one ability of the Asuski
Well,
to revive his daughter.
I do think that just because he's more obsessed with something else doesn't mean he isn't obsessed with the first thing.
What indicates? Give me a proof or any kind of belief you have that shows or evidence that shows that he is obsessed with Sushiki. It's like Cold. Cold is obsessed with Sushiki. Yamato, I don't think he cares for a Sushiki. I think he cares for that one ability.
Well, sure. I mean, just as an example, really, you could blame Mikimoto for this one, but there's like literally like 50,000 Sun and Moon people in the Boruto series. And like you were saying, Boruto is like an example of the sun and Mitsuki the moon based on their eyes. Like, especially with the anime, like with the Jogan, which is crazy with the way it's looking like the moon. While Sarada has like the sun like Mangekyo, and Kawaki's realistically, like he's also like inserted like the sun like dojutsu, which is ridiculous. But Ada also has her little like blue crescent moon dojutsu, as well as Daemon, obviously, with like the half moon looking eyes.
You know, that's the same thing. I think they both have a half moon, half sun kind of thing. Him and Ada. Um, that's because if you look at it, she's got like a circle in between the moon, actually in the middle of the moon, crescent moon. So I was thinking like maybe that's a half moon, and then that's just the sun in the middle. That's because like if you look at Damon's, he's got the half looks like one moon is bigger than the other kind of thing, or maybe a sun and the moon together.
Exactly.
So I think that's maybe So that's what I was thinking. I said maybe that's just like at some point cause I know that Damon is attracted to his sister. She's trying to protect his sister, like Kawaki is trying to protect Boruto.
Well, Daemon likes Himawari, and let's keep in mind that Himawari is also like the sunflower, which is really interesting. It's getting back to the sun, but it just gets to a point where like this may just be more convoluted than you're imagining.
I don't know what's going on with Himawari because she changed that emblem right after. She didn't have it for very long. It changed to the nine tails after that. So I'm like, what is even going on with her? So that right there, I'm not sure because we don't have much to go on with her because she just got her new powers and she's not been mentioned very much in the story either. So I can't really put my finger on her just yet.
Well, that's fair. You're getting to Ada as well, and we know that Ada has a moon, but that means that she needs a sun. And like for the longest time, you probably agree, but like I thought personally that Kawaki was her son. So like for her anyways. But so far it just doesn't really seem like Kawaki has any intention of being her son. At least not like the way it was for Mitsuki for the past 3 years after Omnipotence, where Mitsuki literally made the comparison between himself and Ada in Chapter 8. It's like, who is Ada's son then?
Here's one thing I wanted to point out that nobody thought of is that when you look at I'm starting to realize why Kaguya turned on Ishiki at this point because you think about it, didn't Ada turn and go to Boruto instead? She's like, I'm starting to feel like people who are he's kind of being just like Ishiki, and Ishiki is only taking and taking and taking. He only but he never gives. He's like a loner. He doesn't care about anybody else. And he doesn't shine, he doesn't lead or anything. He just kind of like, well, I'm just going to do my own thing. I care about nobody. And so you kind of feel like, okay, well, I can see why Kaguya would turn on this guy because he's a jerk. Nobody likes him. And so, but regardless, I'm getting way off topic. What were you saying again?
Me? Oh, well, I could just get to the part. Yeah. Well, I guess the next thing we could talk on is just the idea of like Mitsuki and Boruto like is more like a canon thing as well. But like getting back to like Himawari, if she really is the sunflower and they want to make Daemon and Himawari like an interesting character dynamic, since Daemon's my favorite character if you didn't know. But if they want to do that again, even though they really haven't like seen or spoken to each other in like 34 chapters at this point, they could do it here too. But what do you think about that?
Yeah. I did notice. Here's one thing I did notice that is kind of very interesting is that they always do everyone in pairs. If you noticed, like what's her name? Class rep and Sarada are always sticking together now. Daemon and his sister, Boruto and Kawaki now are sticking together. I'm starting to notice that's a thing now. Even like
exactly.
But I think there's a reason they're doing that because they, it kind of goes with the dynamic they're trying to push later on, especially with it's going to become a cyborg versus Asuski maybe thing, or maybe humans versus cyborgs, whatever. I'm thinking they're gonna try to switch it up like that. But regardless, I'm getting way off topic. No. What was your question again?
No. I
I'm
mean,
getting way off topic.
I agree with what you're saying. I also think that there should probably just be one sun for one moon, and not just a million flip flop. That it would just make it weird. Like, for example, Kawaki just being like an extra false sun for like a billion different people would just not really make a lot of sense. I mean, but on the other hand, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for Daemon's false sun, like unless Daemon just thinks Kawaki's strong enough to fight seriously now. And like, I don't think that's really the point that they're going for there.
Right, and I think it's like this. I read a theory actually. Somebody said that that scene where Boruto and Kawaki in the first episode where they were fighting or whatever on Hokage's monuments, he was saying that they actually were fighting about how it was actually Kawaki that killed Ada, and that's why that their battle they started fighting or whatever because he might have killed Ada instead. He said, well, because he said the words, "Why I didn't think you would go this far," and then I was like, "Oh, okay, that's an interesting theory." But I'm getting off topic. I keep getting off topic. I got some million things going on in my head. What I'm getting at is, yes, I think that a million suns and everything. I think there's only going to be one true sun, and it's going to be Boruto. He's the main person in the series. I think that everyone's going to realize that, hey, this guy Boruto, there's something to him. He's gonna be the guy that everyone can place their trust in. That's the role of the sun. Remember that the moon, and it even goes like this with the Asuski. They go in pairs as well. Remember, so they have one that's the leader and one that follows. And so the moon is the one that protects the sun. So I think that a lot of people are pretending to be something they're not. Like Kawaki is pretending to be a sun. He's not a sun, and people can't feel the radiation of hope and other things that he's supposed to give off. And I think Akebi, only I said she was going to be the one who comes into scene. I think she's going to think that Kawaki's also her son because I see a lot of foreshadowing of her following Boruto around. Not Boruto, but Kawaki around. Uh, when Kawaki fought Jura, she followed him there to the battlefield. And then when they get round two, she also followed him again. So I'm like, why does she keep following this guy? So I think that's like foreshadowing for when she gets revived. She's also going to be following him later on.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're bringing it back to that, especially with the Otsutsuki, because for me, when it comes to Amado, I don't really think he should view his ninja tech as superior to the Otsutsuki based on what he's said and done. And what I mean by that is that, like, from Amado's perspective, his ninja tech has just failed him, just outright, forcing him to tap into the domains of the gods with the karma and shinjutsu and all that to bring his daughter back.
Right. And that's the problem. That's the thing I was saying. Like he even said that when he was giving his backstory, where he met what's his name, Jigen. When he realized that his daughter was gone forever, and then he ended up tapping to the domain of the gods, and so that's why he started working with Shiki. Getting at is that I think Amato has other plans as well, not just to just revive his daughter. And it makes sense because what was he doing before? He decided to revive his daughter. I mean, like before his daughter even died, what was he doing? I was trying to figure that out. He got all the super smarts and he got all this knowledge about things and cyborgs is way ahead of Konohas or anyone else in the world. Like he's got something in terms of cybernetics and knowledge and everything. He's like the sage of sixth path. He's stronger than everyone in that regard.
Okay.
So
So
I had a
go ahead.
question. So if you said your theory has Boruto being the true son.
Yeah.
If that's the case, who would you pick as the true moon? Now you only pick one. If it's going to be true sun, true moon, who is the true moon?
And here it's going to get kind of confusing here. I think Sarada still wants to be the Hokage, right? So she naturally has to be a son to the village. So that's what they're setting her up for anyway, because she wants to be the leader. So I think that's why they gave her the sun emblem as well. She's going to be a leader, but she's not going to. She's still going to probably look up to Boruto in some way, you know. Regardless, the true moon. I think they're setting it up for Kawaki, to be honest, unless they have something else. But I think they're really setting it up to be Kawaki. Because here's the one thing. Somebody was it you or somebody else? They said that the moon, his eye is black in the center until he uses his special ability. So they say
But say that again.
Ish, his Kokugan. They're saying that you look at Kawaki's Kokugan, the center is black. So they're saying it's actually a new moon instead of a sun.
Oh, that was someone else.
Okay, yeah. So they said
black. I don't remember.
Yeah. So
no, I don't think it is black. I think the center is golden.
No, when he uses his ability, like his Daikoku, it turns yellow. So that's why. But most without using it, it's just black in the center.
Well, it
I
doesn't
could
really
be wrong.
So what's what you mean by the center? Because the center, the normal eye is like a bunch of There's no circle in the center normally. It's like a bunch of triangles coming together.
Yeah. It's triangles around.
Real smoky thing, but
yes, triangles around. Yes. So what I'm saying is, when you look at the triangles but the center is supposed to be by default is black. But when he uses his ability, it turns yellow. And so, like you remember when what's his name, Ishiki first came, revealed himself. He started shrinking everything, and he had his eye turned yellow when he started shrinking everything. I'm gonna just show you. Let me put it in the chat. That way you can see what I'm talking about.
All right.
Cool. There you go.
Well, whenever
Could be
you're
wrong.
ready.
Here we go.
Got it.
Look at this right here.
You put it in
There
the
we
chat?
go.
And...
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Oh,
there you go.
He must be in the other chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat. Okay.
See his eye in center.
Is the Renegade thing just completely random for the image?
I could pick another image. I just picking up. It's the first one that came up.
Sure.
Okay. So the Renegade nothing to do. That's good.
So I'm saying, like, when he activates his ability, that's when the center turns gold. So that's like, okay. So somebody said, well, actually, it could just be a new moon, and that's people get confused with a sun instead. I said I could see that, but I think they're setting it up to be Kawaki in this time around. Like I said, I could be wrong, but for what I can see now, he's supposed to be actually the guy who attacks Boruto. Naruto. He's supposed to be on Boruto's moon, and of course, Boruto's probably going to have a lot of people attacking him as well.
Anne,
but
correct me if I'm wrong, but a new moon is when it's like you don't see the moon in the sky because it's dark. The full moon's when it's fully circular yellow, and the new moon is when you don't see it.
Unless
right?
it's different in Japan.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, just from a Japanese perspective.
Well, I'm curious.
Remember,
I'm curious how the Japanese moon differentiates from the American moon.
Remember this.
Japanese units.
Remember this. That the Kokugan literally means black eye. So I know that it's got to be black, and I know that they switched the roles of like what the meaning of or what Sasuke. Like I said, Sasuke was supposed to be the moon, and Shippuden. Well, he still is, but instead Boruto is the moon this time around, but he's playing the role as the sun. So you just switch those two around. That's what I'm thinking. Now, and when they switch, when they get omnipotence, Now Kawaki is the one getting all the shine. Now he looks like Boruto's son, or no, Naruto's son, and people have a high regard for him. He's getting all the clout that he because he's a fraud. So he's like, I got respect and love from all the village, but I didn't earn it. And so you can see it on the first few chapters where what was it? What was her? Himawari called him big bro, and he's like, "Oh, don't call me that." And he, being a loner because he knows he's not, the real guy. So to fit those shoes, like I said, he was given everything that Boruto has, and that's why he is shining. Because he's riding on Naruto's coattails for the longest. So he gets that shine, a little bit of that shine from Naruto. But what I'm getting at is that's what I'm seeing as this is objectively untrue. What are you saying? It's only
Well,
what's this?
we'll get to something in a second, but back to Miss Anne's Japanese interpretation of the Japanese moon. If you please, we'll take it away, Miss Anne.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I am pretty sure it's the exact same. So new moon is like nothing. I was literally just watching. I'm watching Inuyasha right now, but he has like this thing where he turns into a human when it's the new moon because the moon isn't out because he's like half dog.
Well,
it's
just
like
to
a pun on
clarify, would that be the American moon or the Japanese moon?
the Japanese moon.
Okay.
So they're the same.
So what?
Okay. So now there's something very interesting here. Now you might not be Angus, and that's okay.
Well, I'm post something else in the chat.
Dorian, well, before you do that, I want you to really, maybe Oodie, share your, script. I will share my screen for this. And I'm just going to let us all do a little collective activity. Why can I not just share? What? I don't need nitro. What? They're not going to let me share my screen? All right, now it is. I don't know if it's working or not, but.
No, you got it.
Is it share my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, if all of us, especially if we can get the Japanese opinion on this too. So we're looking at this eye here, right? Yeah, we all look at the same eye right now?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
What color? Can you see like my cursor when I do this? What color is my thing in right now? If anyone has any picks.
I can see the yellow.
Oh, okay, we gotta vote for yellow. Oodie?
I'd say a little bit more golden.
Oh, okay.
Golden,
Now,
yeah.
Miss Anne, for the Japanese color here, what is my cursor in?
I am gonna have to go with Kiro. Are? Why is it echoing?
You just
That's
right
okay.
click
That
and
means
click
it's
mute
double
and it's
vote.
fine.
I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. Okay, we'll just deal with it for 3 seconds. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna pick an odd one out. I'm gonna say Kinkaku. With the K, like the gold in Silver Brothers. The Kinkaku, the gold, the older brother from the Kinkaku and Gikaku siblings, which means gold. If you haven't figured that out. Now, aside from throwing shade at Oodie for an off-stream discussion, I've noticed that we've all picked yellow or gold, and yet nobody, not 0 for 4, has anyone picked black. So something tells me this eye isn't black. It's the Byakugan where it's all white. This is not all black.
Well, there is a circle in the center, though.
Well, hold on. From an art perspective, before Japan, before America, right? The negative space is making a sun shape.
Yeah.
But if you look at Kawaki's eye in the manga, it does have a dot in the middle.
Yeah, well, it's because Ikimoto draws the eye 30,000 different ways and make up his mind. But
yeah,
we could do that right now.
Well, I do want to get back on track here because I don't want to get away from the question that Kamui asked because it was a really good question. So, if Boruto is the true sun, then who's the true moon? I do have an answer. So, getting back to Amino being Obito, it's really interesting because who does Obito parallel? Well, Naruto. And Naruto was the sun back in Shippuden. So who does Obito have a sun and moon dynamic with? Well, that's right, it was Kabuto. And the war arc really sets this up very well, especially with Kabuto's Sage Art White Rage technique, which foreshadowed Koji helping, or foreshadowed Kabuto helping Koji into Blue Vortex, based on the snake design on the wall in Orochimaru's hideout. But I was hoping that Dorian could tell us a little bit more about that.
The snake thing I pointed out. The
Yeah.
wall. I was think you said to me that was because it was there in Naruto Gaiden as well. So I was like, I don't think it has anything to do with Kabuto at this point. Um, but that's what I was like. I was assuming that Kabuto has something to do with the plot. 'Cause I was going to say that maybe he was helping Shin Koji. Because we don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. We just know he helped out. So we don't really know what his intentions are, and we don't know much about him. Oh, you can hear it too. Okay. Is there echo still?
No, there shouldn't be any echo. No, but I completely disagree with that. I think that Kabuto, realistically, he can't be involved. Not in this current story, anyways. It just doesn't make any sense at all, realistically.
Well, he still does have and it's maybe a stretch, but I think Kabuto would also have motivation to want to end the Age of Shinobi as well, for many reasons, because he was used by the system, and that's what caused him to become a criminal. He was all his life he was a spy. He was in orphanages and stuff like that, and that's how Itachi helped him find who he was.
I see
He
what you're
also had
saying, but
yeah.
whereas the system took away, it also gifted him something. For example, the brother he reunited with. So that's why I think it's definitely possible that Kabuto could be brought back in. Like you were saying, he was brought back into Naruto Gaiden, and that's set during the Boruto era. So I think it's definitely possible that Kabuto could come back in for that reason.
I want you to hear this one part. I said earlier, I think in theory, uh, Kawaki is starting to realize that the system is flawed, and Kabuto already knows the system is flawed. So remember, like Kawaki's father was a ninja, and he was tossed away, and he became an alcoholic, and he sees the effects that the ninja system is having. I remember in the end of Shippuden, like towards the last few mangas chapters, he said, "It's true that you ninja really are um, really do die, will die soon or very young or something like that." Yeah. He said that you guys, it's true that you ninja are destined to die early, and so that was hinting that he understands there's flaws in the ninja system, and that would make more sense that he would probably want to get rid of it at some point. And Kabuto, he knows he got. You can see. I'm not saying he will be involved. I'm saying he could have. Want to overthrow the ninja system along with Amato. But I'm not. I didn't mention him in my theory, so I'm just going on as like maybe I'm seeing little hints. So, but I don't really have any evidence to assume that Kabuto is going to be in the story in the future. So I'm just, I just know Amato is definitely going to be involved.
That's interesting. Okay.
But like I said, people are understanding that there's flaws and that Naruto didn't have the answer. Even though Naruto tried to make things like put band-aids on some things, uh, the ninja system is still flawed in many ways. And so they're going to come to a conclusion like, okay, well, the Asushi are coming to Earth and trying to wipe out the planet, the Ten Tails, and all these things. They're like, okay, we don't need chakra anymore. We could probably just, go to a new system that's based on something that humans created and not something that the Asushi created for us. Or that's not based on the Asushi, but something based on humanity invented. which is cybernetics.
True. Okay, that's interesting. I guess getting back to Amado then, do we want to go back to your original topic that you wanted our translations on?
Yeah. I want to see if that was you have the scans.
Yeah, Kamui posted
It's
it
in chat.
in chat. Yeah, at 3:57 a.m. for us. Something
So both
57 sometime
of them
for
can
other
look.
people. What's that, Kamui?
Both Salads and Bullets and you can give your own unique Japanese interpretation.
Yeah. So the top thing is not really relevant to this. You'd be looking at the bottom text speech here, which is Ore no yume wa ... exclamation mark. And Miss Anne, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ore means I, and then no's translating that to my is the general idea there. And then yume translates to dream, and then wa would be the particle for grammar stuff.
Yes, that's correct.
Did you say dream is singular?
So, Miss Anne,
Wouldn't we know?
so the whole idea here is that when Amado says this, the Viz translate this to dreams plural, not dream singular. And I wanted to get a Japanese person's perspective on that.
I don't know whether they which one did they translate it to? You said
Dreams
So
plural.
this says the plural. The
My
question
dreams
is it
is-
plural or singular?
sorry. It can be. I mean, usually when you start a sentence with "ore no yume wa," it's talking about like your grand dream. If you were talking about multiple dreams, it would be like yume ga aru nda, and then you would like go on to explain like many things maybe. But ore no yume wa is like very possessive of this specific dream, so I would assume it's one.
I would agree.
Because otherwise there would be no reason to put ore.
Well, there you go. It's dream singular.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it has to be. It just means that's how I would take it.
But do
personally.
they have a history? You think they have a history of translating things in the official
100%.
scans?
Oh, well, I mean,
Have a
don't
blog
get us
about that.
started. It's not just mistranslations. It's just simple spelling errors. I mean, for example, Dorian, we're just going to go, we'll take you to a visit to the mistakes tab right now. So, tell me, a little trivia for you, Dorian. Is it A, the Ino Shikacho, or B, the Inu Shikacho? Is it A or B correct?
Conway, if you want to share your
Oh,
screen
A.
for this one.
Oh, it's A.
That was
you say?
A.
Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. Real quick for you. So, I'm sure it's gonna be one of our first ones.
Yeah, so
Okay, yeah. So, if you were to ask Viz, it's the Inu Shikacho, children.
He knew.
And as you can imagine, that's wrong.
you know,
translating these
don't worry.
things.
Don't worry. You know how? Wait. Oh shoot! I'll look away. So how do you spell Ada? Oh, perfect. Spell Ada for me, real quick.
EIDA.
Oh, okay. So what about this panel?
Obviously, that's not correct.
interesting.
Or wait, hold on.
Is that the
spell
same?
Shinjutsu for say it with me. Shinjutsu. We'll spell it together.
Ninjutsu.
SHIN. Shin. Now spell jutsu for me.
AUTSU.
So wait, Dorian, it's not Shinjitsu?
Wait. Are these the official scans?
Yes.
Yes, that's why
Yes.
it's in the mistakes tab.
They never
That's
corrected
still
these,
there.
by the
You
way.
can go back. I will show you right now. Two Viz Media, two Blue Vortex. Inu Shikacho coming right up for you.
Oh
You know,
my
how long
God.
has this been out? A year?
More?
Yeah, we'll zoom right on in.
You're not
Shikacho.
changing tab, by the way, Conley.
I thought I shared entire screen.
It's just gonna be annoying.
All right.
So if that's the case, could could we just still say that
There you
he made a mistake
All right,
with the
your time's-
dreams part instead of the singular or the plural part? You know,
Well,
like,
that would be the
Well,
point.
no,
If
no,
they
so
made a
that's-
mistake, then there you go.
But well, aside from that, to clarify, Viz made this mistake. I'm pretty sure we looked. Most of these mistakes are just
wait,
Viz.
can you show?
There are
Can you
some
show us?
Ikimoto weirdness. Don't get us wrong. When it comes to the mind transfer jutsu versus mind transmission jutsu, Ikimoto doesn't know which is which either. But some of these are Viz. Oh, you want another good one?
But can you
What
show
is
me
Kanji's
the
ability
raw
called?
scan?
Bro,
so
the
she can
raw
look at it?
scan is not saying Inu Shikajo. I
No,
No, no, no.
promise
I'm talking
you.
about for
Here.
the dreams part, like the plural.
That's what we were
Well,
looking at.
that's not.
Oh, okay. I wanted she to see it, her to see it. That's why I was like, okay.
She did. But that being said, I'm glad you're asking for the raws. Let's go ahead and look at the raws for Inu Shikacho
I
right
don't know.
now for you.
ちょっと待って、全部あるの? Is that a site? Wait, can I access that? Because it would be so nice to have them all in digital form without having to go upstairs every single time for my copy of my volume.
Wait, you need this website?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'll send you in a second. So you have
I
to.
can access it.
I'm
but-
going to send it to you back one in a second. But there's also the
Okay, let me go
Naruto
look at
one
that.
as well. It doesn't have everything, but there's a better Naruto one actually. So, go back for a second.
I've actually
I
never
don't have
seen
every single
Naruto.
chapter on here, but this has a good amount of them, so it's helpful.
Right
And
here, that's the
then
very first thing.
If you want the
Yeah.
Naruto ones, this website's great because it seems to have every chapter you can just navigate between all these languages. It's also even got like the side stories and stuff at the top. So this website's great.
いいなぁ。知らなかったんだ、そんなもんが存在するなんて。うわ、便利だ。
Okay. Here, I'm gonna share my screen, Kamui, if you are good. Okay, so to do my professional, official, N3 level Japanese translation here for you, Dorian. So here is where they're saying Ino Shikacho in the official raw Japanese. Okay, don't believe me for the kanji, that's okay, because we got the furigana here. So we have Ino, not Inu. You need proof that this is no and not new? Perfect. Gshow.com, the Japanese dictionary. No, there's the particle. You can compare the two. No, it's the weird roundy whoop-de-doo, same round whoop-de-doo. I'll go back and forth a couple times to confirm it for
We also
you.
know E because we watched South and Bolt's first Japanese video and it's right above it.
That's right. And oh, you don't believe me that there's some other random word with no randomly in it? Well, there's look, two little squiggly lines. Here's E. E. Same two squiggly lines. E no. What do you think about?
I know, for comparison,
that
let's just
one?
look at new. If that's even a thing.
Yeah, that's what it would look like.
Oh yes, they got it wrong then.
They
Ah.
did.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's not just that they got it wrong. They got like one of the staples of the Naruto universe lore wrong.
Well, here's the thing though, that's very concerning because
Yeah.
like if you mess up these words, it could also throw the readers off.
That's
know,
why. That's, can I go
Well,
on
I
a
mean,
rant?
you want another example of that? Well, might I direct you to Chapter 8, Mitsuki's infamous "I love Kawaki" line
Oh,
that
man.
definitely
not even-
misled a lot of readers.
Oh.
I would love to hear Miss Anne's rant.
So, you know, when Mitsuki was asking why Ada loves Kawaki, and then Viz changed it to saying he doesn't know why he loves Kawaki. Yeah, I'm sure you got a different interpretation out of that.
what is the lady trying to say? Is and
Well, now that it's Miss Anne's
Lady
turn.
Sensei. So, we talk about this in translation class all the time, and I have a bunch of posts of this on my blog as well. It's in the about, it's in the homepage, it's in the I have a whole essay on it that I wrote that I just copy and pasted from one of my school essays that I had to write. But basically, when you translate, everything is an approximation and an interpretation. So you can say the same sentence many different ways in English, just like so I might say, for instance, I'm gonna go to the store and get a piece of pizza. But if somebody else were to say that, they might say like, or not even the store, I guess, because the store you wouldn't get a piece of I'm gonna go to the store and get milk. Let me make it at least sound correct, right?
Oh, we have a
So I
lot
said,
more
I'm
milk
gonna.
topics, by the way. Get to that another time.
Either way, I said I'm gonna, right? So you can say I'm gonna or I'm going to. There's a million different ways you could word that, but because of my personality, I said I'm gonna, right? So that's one kind of mistake that you can make, or like difference that you can have when you're quote unquote mistake, because it's not a mistake, it's an interpretation. But you could also reword the entire sentence to be like, I need milk, I'm going to the store. And that would still kind of fit within the same meaning, right? So you can do that with translation as well, which is why when you sit 10 professional translators down in a room, every single one of them will have a completely different, not completely different, it'll have the same meaning, but completely different wording for the most part on the translation, even if they're all sticking with the same source text. It's like the exact same sentence. We do this in translation class all the time, where it's like they throw something in English or something in Japanese or something in like freaking Korean up on the board, and we'll have to use either different translators like online to translate it, so like Google Translate, DeepL, AI, whatever, or if it's depending on what language the class is taught in, because we have both Japanese and English classes at my college. Usually if it's in Japanese, they'll throw an English sentence up and have everybody in the room translate it to Japanese, and every single person will pretty much have a different thing, especially if it's a longer paragraph and not just like a speech bubble of dialogue. But that's why, even though there's like fan translators and all this stuff, every translation is going to be different. And that's why Viz is never going to be quote unquote perfect, because there's so many different ways you can translate that for it to still be correct. Like it's quote unquote correct because it's always going to be an approximation.
I'll
If
add,
that's the case,
or not.
so if that's the case, should we say that's the same thing with the plural versus singular part then? Like,
Yeah, but there's also going to be like one more likely interpretation than another, because the I love Kawaki thing is still technically quote unquote right. It just isn't right within the context that it's talking about. So like you have to frame it from the context as well, of like, is this character talking about one dream, or are they talking about having many dreams? Like what is, or if it's up to interpretation, then you have to say that it's technically both, but it's more likely this one.
okay, I got one more. I just thought of something. Remember how what was it? Boruto first met Hashin Koji in the woods when he got teleported to the lair. He said that Amato had his own agendas. And he used like plural or agendas or plans or motivations or something like that. So he also used plural in that sense as well. I'm gonna go
So
find it real quick.
you don't even have to find it, because this is just a Japanese thing, but like Japanese doesn't use plurals. Their singulars and plurals are pretty much implied for the most part, and except for with the exception of like tachi, or like but there's not really any specific thing to indicate plural stuff in like we have like just es or s, right, in English. There's not anything that's, I mean, for most words, most nouns, there's not really anything that's like that. So you can't say ore no yume tachi wa, because that doesn't make any sense. So there's nothing
Yeah.
to indicate whether it's singular
Yeah.
or plural within like the actual grammar of Japanese. So you always kind of have to guess based on context.
Okay. Dang. So it's not really any way to have any concrete evidence then of
Well,
that what
no,
you're
to be
saying
fair,
because
if they were trying to indicate that it's multiple dreams, they would make it clear that they're doing that by just adding in another word rather than like anything with grammar.
Well, like what other word would they add though in that context? Because like it's supposed to be, it's a title, right? So it's going to be vague and like cut off.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true, but Oodie? I don't know.
let me see. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really confusing me, and I'm very upset now because I was hoping that I can get this settled, but it sounds like to me that uh, there's not really an easy answer to this question. because more interpretation versus what they're actually saying or what they're trying to imply at this point. Let's see. Even the final orders and surely.
I mean, he
What do
technically
you
could have
think?
said Futari no Yume to be like 2 dreams, but then that's still specifying.
Study no Yume is
another-
our dreams.
Oh, you're right. So
Like the
silly.
two of us' dreams.
Okay.
Futatsu no
Well,
Yume would be 2,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they
So,
wouldn't like put that because it's, I don't know.
yeah, obviously they would never put it like that's just like an example of like if they
It's
were to
really-
make it hypothetically as clear as possible and then specifically 2 dreams, but then you would know what the 2 dreams are probably. It like that again, it's just weird.
Yeah, because then they would list the 2 dreams.
Exactly.
一つ目はこれ。二つ目は I feel like they do that in a lot of anime. I can't remember, but one of them, I feel like they specifically in anime where they do that.
Yeah.
Even if that's the case, all right. My theory still has a lot of I guess evidence that I brought to show that this could be something real. Like I want to see. I thought the chapter was going to come out today, since it's like a shorter month, but that's not how it's going to work.
I thought it was
apparently.
actually going to come today too. I was supposed to get
Oh,
scans, but I did not.
Like
Wow,
the
Kamui, that's
15th.
really gonna interfere with tomorrow's. Okay, so I guess out and bolts. I guess next month we'll do the live translating as we react thing.
Yeah, I don't think I could even do it because I don't think Ryan wants me to translate the chapter fully this month because people have just been complaining on Twitter constantly about don't leak because they did an advertisement. We need to show them that their advertisement meant something. So if you post the leaks, we're all going to report you and you're going to get your
Actually?
account taken down.
well,
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
that's
sounds- well,
hilarious.
could be-
If we
Well, two things.
gatekeep the translations,
Yeah, actually, so
I
two
mean,
things.
like, nah, I was still going to translate it, but I don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't
like
think
that.
they're
Well,
getting
if
dropped.
you just
enough.
don't promote that you translated it, we don't have to even say who I mean, it'll be obvious, but we don't have to say it's responsible. We don't have to say your name. They don't even know it's you. Your name in Discord is Miss Ann. We'll just say we got whoever to do it.
well, honestly, we could just lie and say I did it, since I could do it anyway.
Just say, yeah, Oodie's doing it live, even though it's you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I
Well, we could
definitely
also
know
just
that.
unlist the stream until the chapter's out.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen next chapter then?
Well,
Well, I think
you
Damon's
know-
dad will be revealed.
yes.
Why is
Who's
that?
dad?
And for the record, we haven't seen the sneak peek and don't want the spoilers.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I
Sorry.
did see it and I forgot what it was. 'cause
Well,
it was the
to
most
be
nothing
fair,
thing of all
Kamui, I
time.
saw the right half of it. I think the left half is people like reacting with like a surprise face. The right half, I definitely saw Bug like jumping towards the camera or something, probably looking angry. But that's really all I saw. Is that
Yeah, like,
hey,
it was like the
Mamushi's
most,
in the
like,
chapter.
nothing thing of all time. It's just-
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Kind of the most nothing thing of all time.
Yeah, of course they're gonna just give you like something that's not gonna. It's really hard to tell what's gonna happen next.
Well,
I tell you what.
I'm saying,
One
Damon's
thing that
dad.
I think. You said that they're gonna reveal Damon's dad. What do you mean
yeah,
by that?
I mean, if you just look at this thumbnail right here, I feel like this should tell you all you need to
Is
know.
that real?
I mean, it's
Not
pretty
real,
obvious.
is it?
Yeah,
No, it's real.
That's David's dad right there.
あのね、お前が
It's crazy
I
though.
mean, does he not look
No.
like David's dad to you?
That's actually the guy. What's that other kid? That rich kid from way early in the series.
Kento.
や
もうやめて。
Yeah, that's his father.
Well, it's not his father because we see Ikkyo in the Boruto TBV Vortex, but he doesn't look like this.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's-
whoever
This
that
is
is, he's
Hobu, Damon's dad.
yes, Damon's dad. I don't think so.
Oh my god,
Well, I
Kamui.
mean, well, why else would he look like Damon?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Kamui, we
Oh, yeah,
should have
he's
made
like
this.
identical
I
to
don't know if
him.
that's his real color though. I don't know if that's his real color or hair color though. That's like fan drawn in. That
Wait,
would be
this
very
isn't
interesting.
The sneak peek? I mean, if you
I
look
don't
at
know.
this title, it's the sneak peek right here.
Exactly.
It's labeled.
We all know that Boruto is going to save the day. Obviously, they already hinted that he knows something's up. When he was listening, he turned his eyes towards what in suspicion when he said we gotta turn the comms off or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, obviously Boruto is going to magically know where they're going or what's going to happen. But I could be wrong. I think.
So you don't think David will save his father at the last second?
No, not David. Of course not. He's not going to leave Ada. It's not sure.
Okay,
what
so
if Ada goes to save her father too?
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
Okay, so your theory is that Daemon's not going to go save his dad next chapter?
No.
Okay, so he's not going to do that. Okay, so he's not going to go save his dad.
I tell you what,
David's dad is going to just reveal his true power.
That would be interesting. What would his true power be? What would it be?
Very strong.
What, plot reflection or something? What?
Whatever he needs to beat Mamushi.
That would be funny. Here's the thing. I actually I was thinking like this. If you go to back to a few chapters ago, you look at how Boruto defeated Hidari so easily. I was like, how do they? I'm trying to figure out how.
When did he ever easily defeat Hidari? Hidari's literally his toughest win yet.
I don't know about that. Like, I think, the bug was like when he first fought him. He's the only one that pushed him against the wall.
Mamushi there. So
he didn't beat him. Well, he didn't beat him exactly, but he was like, if he had fought him 1-on-1, it seemed like he was almost evenly matched. In the chapter.
Well, yeah, but then you look at Hidari, and Boruto asked for Sarada and Konohamaru's help, and he still wasn't gonna get away with the win without Kawaki also showing up.
Well, yeah, that could be a good point. But the thing is, he was also trying to protect other people while, fighting. So that's why he was. But he made it look so easy, okay, because he was like he didn't get hit not once. And even with Bug, he got hit, and pushed against the wall. So I'm like, at least Bug got a hit on him, but Hidari didn't do any of that. He kept on getting hit like multiple times. So I thought that was his easiest win.
Either way, I mean, if we're gonna compare that versus Matsuri, I mean, Matsuri got one shot, so I'm still not gonna say Hidari was the easiest win.
Right. Well. I still think he was the easiest because he got defeated. So,
well, I mean, just look at it this way: Konohamaru plus Boruto beat Matsuri versus Konohamaru, Boruto, Sarada, and Kawaki for Hidari.
Wait! I just remembered something. There was a clip or a theory I was reading. They were showing that in the future reel that Tachikoshi had, it was showing that. There was Inogen bruised up while in the cave, Orochimaru's hideout. And so I'm thinking Code is going to come and ambush him and Kashin Koji coming soon.
I hope so. But Kamui, actually, I realized something based on what you said. We can directly compare Boruto showing up versus Matsuri and then Boruto showing up versus Hidari, since he did literally the exact same thing. Show up, sword swipe. For Matsuri, it ended the fight. For Hidari, it didn't. He was doing the same exact thing in both instances, saving the person that the Shinju was killing at the time.
That's true.
Exactly.
Let's also not forget that so Boruto's taken out like 30 Mamushis who are full strength as the regular Mamushi, so Mamushi just is his easiest victory.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. He's taken out quite a few of them. But that doesn't make any sense though. So, like, even like, didn't they say that he's supposed to get weaker the more he multiplies? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Well, yeah, actually, Dorian, I was hoping you could talk to us about how how you feel about the fact that Shikadai and Chocho as a team are 4 times stronger than Boruto in base. How do you feel about that?
That's teamwork make a dream work. That's how.
But remind you though, like you even think Boruto can take on like Hidari. So Shikanai and Chocho could take on Hidari 4 times over. They could take
Well,
on
they didn't.
Mamushi, Hidari, Ryu, and Matsuri at the exact same time and win.
Well, at the same time, you got to think that he didn't actually, uh, defeat them. They were getting up. Remember, and then
They
that's
beat him pretty
when
good though.
they damaged him, but they didn't defeat him. They were still getting up, and
And what
that
did
was
Mamushi do? Nothing.
yeah, nothing. But also like Kawaki got hit with the same thing. He got hit with the shadow possession. Uh, when he was trying to kill Boruto, and he couldn't move. So I think it would have worked if he had got hit with it. Um, but yeah, I think that's still plausible. I just don't think it's for Boruto. He's got too much plot armor, so that's probably why it didn't work. But
I don't know.
regardless, I'm
Shikanai and
saying.
Chocho's plot armor might be better.
Well, here's another thing though. Like, remember that mind transfer jutsu didn't work on Obito, you know, but it works, on other people. I don't know why it
Well,
works on
it
some people, but not.
worked for like 0.2 seconds.
Right. Or even like the shadow possession, like how other people like Madara were able to get out of it, or was it Madara who got hit with it?
I don't think
But
Madara was ever in shadow possession.
okay, it must have been Obito then. Obito was able to get out of it. Who else was able to get out of it? Just other people. Right? Kawaki was able to absorb it. I don't even know how that works, to be honest. Like, I thought it was supposed to be a shadow, but hey, I don't know. Momoshiki got out of it. Actually, no, it wasn't Momoshiki. Didn't Momoshiki use it on him? Whatever. My mind's off, right? But yeah, I don't know. Going back to what I was saying, my theory actually. I was saying that because there is already a sun and a moon. Back to my theory. Then and there's also Kawaki, who is also a false sun. There has to be another one to counteract the other ones. It has to be an opposite. So I'm saying if Boruto's a moon, the full moon, then Kawaki is going to be the what do they call it? The new moon. And so Sarada is already a sun, and I don't know what Ada would look like then. I'm thinking she's going to be the next sun as well.
Well, hold on.
Because she.
You just said Boruto is the full moon. I thought
Well,
he
I
was
mean,
the
like,
true sun.
no, he is a true son. That's why I say it was like, it's complicated when we go to that. He is going to be playing the role as the sun, but he is the moon in appearance. You know, so I'm saying is that he's drawing people towards him. He's playing the role as the sun, but in his appearance, he's the moon. You know how you can see like the Jogan looks like a full moon. You know, it's on the eye. And if you look at Kawaki Dai, it actually looks like this is what I learned like 2 years ago. They say it looks like the sun. It looks like the sun taking in light versus like radiating light, like Sourdough does. Sourdough looks like it's radiating light, where Kawaki looks like it's taking in the light. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So, but yeah, Um, that's just what I was thinking. And so I think there has to be something to even it out because they're making her appearance in the manga, Amado's daughter, to be something big. He's going this far to revive this lady. She can't just be normal. She cannot. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, she can't just be a sideline character. She has to have something special about her. To build up the hype for this lady and for him to go this far to revive an average lady. It just doesn't make any sense. He might have us this Asushi powers. Who knows?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I honestly, Kamui, I completely disagree with what you said. I think it's the opposite, if anything.
Well, why is
Oi?
that?
Well, like Dorian was saying, it really has a lot to do with the Otsutsuki powers.
Okay, but elaborate.
Well, it's a lot of it is like in the dojutsu, you know, like especially like the Otsutsuki eyes in particular. And so I'm really just disagree with what you said, Kamui.
Okay, but my thing is, these are humans.
Well, whereas I see what you're saying, realistically, it's because they're humans that I do definitely think that that should be the case. And based on that, you know what I mean?
The problem is, I feel like you're overlooking the fact that these dojutsu come from the Otsutsuki. So it's really about the Otsutsuki, not the humans.
Well, realistically, I mean, yeah, you make a good point. I completely agree.
What do you think, Miss Anne?
I heard it's about the Otsutsuki and not the humans.
So you agree with that?
I guess so.
Well, I mean, definitely because I think basically what that means is, Dorian, we disagree with what you said.
Which part? All of it?
Yeah.
Well, I want to give you one thing here. Look about this. Kawaki's goal is to destroy the Isushi. So once you wipe out the Isushi, there's no more of that. He's trying to get rid of their legacy and start over and something different. Get rid of the Asia Shinobi. So that kind of seems to me that he's trying to start a new system where this Sushiki is not involved. He hates everything Sushiki, including himself. So that's why I think he's going. That's why it's going to be the new start of a new system in terms of like even Amato still thinks and Shinobi are tools. He knows that they are tools of the system, and they're easily manipulated and stuff and all that stuff. And he's not even a ninja. He doesn't even like ninjas. So I'm getting at is that's why I believe that they're going towards that route to get rid of the ninja system. And like I said, I don't really know what Akebi's abilities will be, but it could be omnipotence. She could have also omnipotence as well, or she could have something totally different, but it has to be a blue eye. If she has a blue eye, then my theory is confirmed. Like that's the thing I was trying to go at. So that's the one that when she had if she when her appearance is revealed, that's when we know if she has a blue eye. That means that she is going to be like Boruto's opposite. She's going to be like, okay, in terms of like those two, they had a prediction those blue eyes will take everything from you. I think he didn't remember Kamui. You said that he didn't lose everything, right?
Uh-huh.
So I thought maybe she would have omnipotence and she would, change everybody's memories again or something like that. But that's far fetched, and I'm going off of like maybe that could be one of her abilities, and get rid of that'd be an excuse to get rid of Ada in that regard. Wipe her out, kill her. And so that was what I was thinking. But she has to have blue eyes. That would make my theory true, or at least give her the most credit. Having blue eyes. We don't know what her real eyes are. We know that she's got pink eyes with some jail bars in it, but we don't really know. So go ahead.
Well, my question is, do you think that's backwards compatible?
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Because
Well,
we do
which
know that,
part?
well, we know that the karma seal is. It was Ikimoto did confirm that a couple months ago. So what about this? Do you think this is?
The blue eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah, the blue eyes. I'm saying like yeah. I'm
Are the
saying
blue
that.
eyes backwards compatible?
What do you mean, like in terms of what?
In terms of being backwards compatible.
Like I'm confused on what you're saying. Like, Backwards compatible mean like
Backwards compatibility.
to who?
The compatibility. Like it's
Right,
backwards.
meaning like. Oh, okay. I think you're saying like in terms of like appearance or abilities or what?
No, in terms of it being backwards.
Compatibility wise.
You gotta think about it. I don't know what you're trying to say, but think about it like this. The show is called Two Blue Vertex. So when you say two eyes, I'm thinking like Boruto has one blue eye, and he has an attack called Uzuhiko, which means vortex boy. So I'm thinking she's going to have some blue eyes and also have a similar ability as well. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, two blue vortex. So at some point, they might be facing off against each other or teaming up with one another to defeat whoever there is. But I don't know what you mean by backwards compatible with who, and I'm saying I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what I was getting at, because like I said, if she's got blue eyes, that makes me think that's the other vortex. That's who I'm referring to. There's two blue. There's one vortex, which was hinted at as Boruto, because he got a Rasengan Uzuhiko, which looks like a vortex, and then he got another vortex, which I'm thinking probably comes from someone else, because I don't know where the other vortex would be. Where it's got to be an attack or maybe something like that. So
Yeah,
if she
remind me
has
though.
something.
So how are you linking that to the backwards compatibility of the Karmasil though?
Oh, that Karmasil. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you should have said that. I didn't know what you're talking about. Okay. But
Yeah,
the
we're
Karmasil
just
being
quoting Ikimoto.
okay. Yes. I don't know. Like that's a good question. You say it's backwards compatible, meaning like if it's for humans, to bring back a human. I don't know. Maybe it could work, but maybe the karma is exclusive. So maybe she might come back as an Asushi, or maybe she might come back as a human, but have some kind of Asushi or power up somehow. Maybe she could use the karma, and I'm thinking maybe her karma might even be green because they keep using that red, blue, and green kind of scheme. Uh, Even in the movie, the Naruto, the last movie or whatever, they use the red, blue, and green statues. I'm saying, okay, maybe they're missing the green karma. So that's another thing because you can mix red and blue and certain shades of red and blue and get green as well.
Maybe
So
that's how
that
they
was
could
another.
bring in Daemon's dad.
Yeah. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys noticed this. This is another thing that most people didn't notice is that their outfits determine what's going to happen to them. Like they keep changing their people's outfits. So I was looking up on Chat GPT, and they were talking about like what the colors of their outfit means in the Boruto series versus if you do it in Shippuden, it means something totally different. So you look at
Can I pause you
Boruto.
real quick?
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Did ChatGPT tell you that red and blue make green?
No, I could be wrong on
Where
that.
did
So
you learn that information?
yeah, you're wrong. You're right. I said that wrong.
Sorry.
My bad. Purple. My bad. Purple. My bad. You got me there. You got me there. Okay. What I was
Yeah,
getting
because
at is
ChatGPT isn't Japanese, so they wouldn't know about Japan customs.
yeah. I think of something else. My bad. Purple. But no.
Well, to be
Actually,
fair,
it's funny.
blue
It's
and
funny thing.
green
Hold on,
are
wait. I just remember
interchangeable in
something.
Japanese. So if you combine them, then in Japanese it could make purple.
I mean,
If
you're
you
not
look at
technically wrong.
what's her name? Class rep. I can't remember this lady's name.
Oh, actually, real
Sumire.
quick. This
She
is
also
unrelated,
has.
but not super important. Hold on. Does Orochimaru's mix yellow and blue to make green thing in Japanese make no sense? Is he saying like mix yellow and blank to make blank like the same colors?
I don't remember that line, but I would assume he says yellow and blue.
Well, how does
To
he
be
say
fair,
that?
Kamui, there is there is an individual word for blue and green individually.
Yeah.
It's just the kanji
Okay.
for blue it doesn't actually mean blue. It means basically the best translation would be like natural.
Okay.
There's so all means like blue. It can also mean blue green. It can also mean green. But
Okay.
Mizuhiro is the color that they usually use for blue, which is like actual blue because it's the color of water, literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about this. Like look at Samire. She got purple and everything going on here, and he's like sticking around with Sarada, who has the sun in her eyes. So I'm trying to maybe she's supposed to be her moon. I don't know, but I don't see that happening. I just think like it's kind of strange how you got blue or purple or whatever, and she's protecting Boruto as well. But she's also the friend of uh, what's her name, Sarada. But and
I also think
actually
it's
her.
interesting. Speaking of,
Go ahead.
sorry, I think it's interesting. Speaking of colors, that Sumire's tie colors match Kawaki's colors.
But is
What's that?
Sumeri's tie purple as well, right?
No, it's like teal and what's the other color? It's teal and something striped.
Well, actually, Torine's beetles were purple, and that could be really good foreshadowing, considering those were parasitic beetles, which is exactly how Amado describes the Otsutskis as parasites.
Well, the other thing I
Yeah.
was thinking is that if you guys remember Orochimaru's infamous bow tie that every Orochimaru person on the planet wears, they all have the purple bow tie. They're purple. Koji's is an
Remember,
Orochimaru
purple.
hideout.
Purple is a mixture between red and blue, right? So that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, well, anyway, what I'm getting at is they were saying that black means your fate and stuff like that. They were saying that the black color means fate or death, and uh, and white means Asuski in Boruto series. It means Asuski or godhood. And what was it? What else? What colors they had? Blue means power and pure and stuff like that. Purple means I can't remember. But yeah, they were just going on a green. Oh, green means growth. So meaning like you growing in power and stuff like that. So you look at even look at it like this. When Kawaki got his power up, he had green on. You look at Jura, he's got green, and I was like, oh, okay. So, or in nature, nature it can mean nature as well. So Jura is also wearing green, and when power he got his power up, he was wearing green, and so I thought that was interesting. But also, red means anger or passion, as they're saying. But these are all what Chat GPT said about Boruto, but it could be wrong though. So just take it with a grain of salt.
Well, I think it's important to realize, and Noob brought this up as well, that the color of poison in Naruto verse is also purple.
Yeah, that's it. Or Roti, it could be another one.
Yeah, I definitely think
But
that it has a lot of significance in the Naruto verse.
because yeah, and I'm trying to figure out because another thing is you look at Samire, right? She's always she's very important to the storyline. I don't know how because she was in the manga and she's being shown in the anime as well, and so they keep showing her. So I'm like, she's got to have some kind of role important to the story. I don't know where it's going. Why was she
Have
even?
you? She's been very significant in antagonizing Sarada to confess her feelings for Boruto.
Right, right. And yeah, Boruto's
And then
got
she got in the way during the Hidari fight and had to lay on the ground.
oh yeah, of course. She's playing Sakura pretty much. Sakura of the group. Um and I don't know, I really want to know her purpose in the story because like and what is this thing about Himawari being a tailed beast? Like, it's saying that she's like Harama and the tail beast. Like, what does that even mean? I'm trying to figure that out. Like, what is he talking about? Because I'm like, if she's like a tail beast, does that mean she can give like, she can become like a fuse with someone and become their Jinchuriki or something like that? I'm just trying to figure out what's going on there because nothing's making sense with her. Um,
Well, do
and
keep in mind that her tailed beast color is red, which is a color that can mix with green in Naruto.
to make purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do we
That's
think
right.
that based on that, Orochimaru might go after Himawari in an upcoming chapter?
Orochimaru.
make
Why
purple.
Orochimaru? Oh,
To
yeah,
make
to make
purple.
purple, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not blue, right? Isn't he blue now? Isn't like what he's going out there? He's like a blue color now, right?
Well, I know in Shippuden the moon turned red for a little bit, but generally the moon is known to be blue, so all he would have to do is put Himawari on the moon.
Okay.
That is where Toneri is, technically, too. A good way to tie that in.
True. So that could be how we get Toneri back, is if Orochimaru puts Himawari up there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what is Toneri? When is he supposed to come back? I'm trying to figure that out. Is he gone for good? Like they really didn't know what to do with that guy. They just sealed him away. That's all they do with this a series. They just seal everybody away if they don't know what to do with them. It sealed away Sasuke, it sealed away Naruto, Toneri. I mean, everybody's getting sealed away these days. Or Gaara got sealed away. I mean, is that the way? They don't like to kill people off. They just say we're going to seal this person away. That's the best way to, take care of them.
Well, Gaara's sand is yellow, which could actually be pretty useful in an upcoming fight if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. But here is what about like this? What do you think is going to happen? How do you think what's going to happen with Boruto? You think he's going to end up losing or getting killed, or no, give his body over to Omoshiki, or do you think he has a plan up his sleeve, Kamui?
So that's that whole plot line is just tricky because it feels like both of them are just being stupid. Why
Yeah,
would
I don't
Momoshiki trust Boruto? Why would he trust him? And why would
Why would
Boruto
Boruto
trust
trust?
Momoshiki?
Right. And I think
Why would either of them believe in the other?
right. And I'm thinking this. And also they this is what I want to tell you something that you probably didn't notice. With the sword, when what's her name? Sumire augmented the sword. There is I know what she did to it. You know what she did to it?
Actually, that brings up a good point. She made the chakra signature thing. So technically, I mean, obviously, Sumire could have imbued it with like Momoshiki's chakra too off screen and never said that. But she said it's Boruto with Sasuke's chakra signature in there. So when Boruto uses the sword with Momoshiki's chakra, he should just like die.
No, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He used
Well, I know, but he should.
He used new.
Momoshiki's chakra wasn't registered.
He used it with new to make it a living sword. And I'll tell you why she did that. Because Kawaki can't shrink living things. So it keeps his sword safe from when he fights Kawaki.
Sarada or Sumire can hold the sword too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I
then
think
what
so.
if Sumire and Momoshiki just happen to have the same chakra signature?
Oh, like Kisame and Samehara. Yeah.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, maybe we're going to see them hide in the sword like Kisame and Samehara.
Oh, you think Boruto's going to hide in the sword?
Could be, or the sword also might betray someone if they like another chakra more, like Samehara.
Yeah. I don't know. It haven't shown anything that the sword is alive like that. Like I think she just gave
you
it.
just theorized it is alive.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm saying like she gave it like some news essence or whatever to keep it like alive so it can't be shrunken by Kawaki. Because we know his weakness, right? You can shrink things that are only not alive, and so maybe I think that's probably it. Because remember, this thing was
it needs to be like alive, because like for example, Code's claw marks have Code's blood, so they got red blood cells. Kawaki can still shrink them. They need to be like alive for him to not be able to shrink.
Kamui, I'm glad you reminded me. Okay, I have a new theory that I thought of when looking at the Daemon's dad. So
looking at Mamushi and the claw marks,
Actually look like that.
which have been there for years, with the same exact design on all claw marks, not just Shinju. So, you know how Black Zetsu is black with white circles around his like lines?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, the soul thorn thing.
Yeah, so imagine he's just not a soul thorn and he's just a claw mark. Have we not made that theory yet? I don't think we have.
That's
I
fine.
definitely probably haven't.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy how we haven't done that yet, considering how it's been like a year that we've been pointing out the white circles on Black Zetsu. Just like this.
Well, I mean, are you aware of White Setsu's white circle or Black Setsu's white circles?
That does go back into the color theory that we were mentioning earlier with the significance.
That explains Black Setsu's instant teleportation, basically.
There you go.
You know, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Oh
Good
my
point.
God. It makes sense
Okay,
for Black
what-
Zetsu to have a Shinjutsu.
I want to hear one of your theories. What's her name? Miss I Am or Miss Ann?
Yeah, well, yeah, Miss I Am is yeah.
I want to hear one
What
of her
would you like
theories.
to hear about?
Anything. Give me a theory of anything. I've been, you know, we have been given our theories on what will happen in the future, but I don't know. I would like to hear a new theory so far. Your most controversial one. Best
A
one.
controversial one. Oh, okay. We were just talking about Sumida's sword, so I'll give you something on that. What do you think, as of right now, the most useful thing Sumida's new upgrades to the sword can do? Is
Absorb chakra.
how do you see it being useful in the future?
When was it Momoshiki grabs it, or maybe
Mhm.
Jorah grabs it. You know,
Mhm.
so like to say it absorbs that chakra and weaken them just like it did Owl.
Okay, so do you remember the scene where Boruto was fighting Jorah and Jorah grabbed his sword?
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened at the end of that scene?
He hit him with the Uzuriko.
Boruto was kind of on the ground for a while, and his sword was also stabbed in the ground. Do you remember what Jorah said at that point in time?
He says that tell me where your accomplice is, and then this sword will make his keep his shape.
He threw it onto the ground with Boruto and was actually going to let Boruto die with the sword because it meant so much to him. So he decided that he was just not gonna take it because he didn't need it. So I don't think Jorah is gonna touch the sword at all. And recently, in the most recent chapter, Boruto had the sword ability tested on a fodder ninja who came after him, and he kind of just randomly flung a rope while he was talking to Shikamaru, right? And Boruto didn't make any move to dodge it, even though he dodged Sage Mode Mitsuki while talking on the not the phone, but through telepathy, whatever. To the Eno phone to Shikamaru, right? So do you think they purposefully nerfed Boruto just to show off the sword's abilities against a fodder ninja to give it one good thing before it fails miserably against Hidari, since Hidari can hold it?
That's what I'm hoping for.
That would be clever. I
We
mean,
made so many jokes about it too, though, where like Hidari will do something stupid. Like I can't remember what we said, but we came up with like 30 funny ideas for Hidari being stupid when he does it.
Yeah.
So you think that if Hidari holds it, something will happen to him? Like it won't affect him?
It won't affect him, yeah, because he has Sasuke's chakra. Signature.
That's a good point. But here's the thing.
I mean,
here's my theory on what when I was saying they imbued it with living essence and stuff. Now this could be. I know Kamui is going to instantly try to strike this down, but it's just my theory on the part. When they were fighting on the Hokage statue, Boruto had a sword. If Okugan was still a thing, why would he just shrink Boruto's sword instead of fighting him, with his weapon? He's still having. Remember,
You also saw in that first chapter, right, that it was still Sasuke's sword. So Sumire changing the sword was not planned from the beginning.
Right. So I knew Kamui was going to attack that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going into this one. Yeah. So it said he didn't plan it way back then. So
Well,
that's
to be
probably right
fair,
there.
I do think that it has been foreshadowing, and we do know this because Kishimoto is pretty much a master of foreshadowing. Like, think about things that have been set up from the
In
beginning.
spelling
We've
errors.
had Shikamaru being foreshadowed to become the Hokage at Asuma's death about 2 decades ago, and that's being paid off now. So Kishimoto's had this in mind for a long time of where he's wanted the story to go. So I think it's only fair to say that this has been set up. It's definitely going to be paid off at some point in time based on how Kishimoto writes the Boruto scenario.
There was another one. I'm trying to think of what it was that he did in Naruto. I'm gonna try to search for it because we've talked about it.
So you think the final sword payoff is going to be against Kaoki?
Yeah, in the Boruto scenario, yeah.
Okay.
Kodachi's
wait.
scenario.
So let's say Hidari grabs a hold of Boruto's sword, or his own sword, in this case, but let's say he grabs a hold of it. Do you think there's something about that sword that will probably spark memories inside of Hidari or whatever?
I've seen
Maybe.
that theory. I've seen that theory a lot, but I think because Sasuke's chakra is already detectable by the chakra sensing net, it's not going to change anything because he's literally coming in contact with his own chakra. And where did she even get Sasuke's chakra signature from? If it was something that Sasuke himself imbued with chakra for a specific purpose, I mean, obviously when he was using his sword for battle, he would have imbued it with his chakra for using a specific attack, but that would just lead him to understand how to use it for the attack and not something like what with Minato did, where he made it so that his chakra could interact with Naruto's.
And I
I mean,
think
I
about this.
absolutely think
That's a very
Ikimoto just wrote that and didn't think twice about it, but that's
I
besides the
also agree.
point.
Unlike
here's the
Asuma's
thing,
death.
yeah, exactly, and it just seems like a lot of things he didn't think through, when he's writing his stuff. But if you look at it like this is why I think I said, who did I say this to? I said this in a prior theory. I think the bug Shinju will consume Ada, and because the reason why I say that is because of this. Somebody has to. If it'll say the bug Shinju gets destroyed, right? The final one gets destroyed. Soul Thorn comes out. Who is going to take it back to his body? Maybe Cole
Jura's
might come
body?
around and, huh?
Sorry, are you talking about Jura?
Jura won't take it back to Bug's real body. I'm saying who is going to take it back to Bug's real body if he gets destroyed?
Wouldn't they just let it rot?
Yeah.
If they made it rot, what would happen? I don't know. I'm just saying, because that's the thing. Like they use it to revive the tree, release the person from the tree. I'm saying who's going to take it back to Bug? Nobody there. Only people who can take it back to Bug is Boruto and Code and Jura, maybe and Jura. And so I'm thinking, well, Boruto's not going to do it. Code might do it, and Jura has no reason to do it. Maybe Boruto might do it. Who knows? But I doubt it.
I mean, if Team Shikacho asked him, he would probably do it because he loves him so much.
And so I'm getting at is that we're going to see what happens when a person is devoured by a Shinju. I think they're going to use her as an example because she doesn't really have any real purpose in the story anymore, except seeing in the past, and she's not even really using it for the good reasons, for any good reason or real good reasons at this point. Like she should be using it for a model, if that is.
So
But
so
she
remind
hasn't
me,
used it.
how did you get to that conclusion?
I saw that. I was just thinking about how people are going to get turned into back to normal, and Bug really has no association with the main cast.
Right.
He only has an association with Cold, and he's kind of Cold's comrade. So Cold will be the only one who can take him back to his original body.
Right.
So that's how I came to that. So I said, okay. So when uh, if wherever Bug gets destroyed, that's when Cole would have to take him back to his original body. But I'm thinking, okay, well, he's if he gets defeated, at some point he's going to become very stupid, right? At the very least, right? Because he's making so many copies of himself. So I think, okay, well, either he becomes very stupid, or he gets his mark and he devours Ada and learns everything she got and all her powers and stuff like that. So, I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. But we have to see what happens when a Shinju devours a person. And
Why?
see what happens. Because it would make no sense to show to have that thought in people's heads. You know what I mean?
How?
Like,
In what way would it make no sense?
Well, why do they keep on saying people are going to get devoured, and we're not going to see what happens to the Shinjus? Like they keep their main goal is to devour their targets. So we want to see what happens when they devour their target. Let the people know what happens. Even like in Shippuden, they make sure to let us know what happens if Madara succeeds and Obito succeeds and all these things. And this is what happens. This is the end results. So
I will
I'm saying,
say that, like, you see the Akatsuki capturing Jinchuriki, that's the threat. Will they do it? And then you have the Tentos being revived happens, and then if it's Tsukiyomi happens, and then when that doesn't happen, it's Orochimaru taking Sasuke's body.
right. Well, he almost did. He tried to absorb. Yeah, you're right. He didn't. What I'm getting at is we see a little bit of what the villain gets his win. They're strong. They're evil and all that stuff. So we want to see what happens if the villain gets a win. We can't just have them keep losing all the time because they keep losing. Like what has the Shinju ever won? Not once.
We
They
can.
keep losing.
When has Code ever won? We had a whole Code arc.
Jura also
Code
kind of won
beat
because they couldn't
Beast
defeat
Kawaki?
him.
Shut up, Kong. Shut up.
I mean, Cole got a few wins. I mean, not too many, but he got a couple.
Okay.
I think the main thing. So this is how I'd actually say it. Now you can say it kind of happened the Ryu fight. I don't care for the Ryu fight, so I'm gonna ignore it. But the main thing is you look at Code. He was winning. The main characters were on the back foot for a part. Whereas, yes, this is technically happening with the Shinju for the most part. It's kind of like, all right, I hate Ari fight.
Well, Cole won
It's
against
like, they're just winning.
Kawaki.
For the most part, they're just beating them. Like Mamushi so far, they're just winning. I mean, obviously, I expect there to be some sort of turnaround where Mamushi gains the advantage. I would hope, but for a lot of it, it does just feel like it doesn't feel like the Shinju ever have a chance. And part of that's because, well, they got freaking Kochi's cheat codes right in front of them, but it doesn't feel as threatening, especially when you have Mamushi ability not following its rules.
So Mamushi doesn't need to win, is what I'm hearing.
I
Well,
agree.
he
should
does
be
need to win. He does
almost
need to
winning.
win.
Like he should be like in the lead at some point. The very
But what
least.
would be the advantage? What would be the point of them? Of him going to Konoha and then getting all his people destroyed, or his clones destroyed, and just become very stupid. Like what? But what happens then? Like Jorah can't use a guy like that. Would Jorah just kill him because he's stupid? Like I'm trying to figure out because we know that's going to be his fate if he expends clones himself too much. That's supposed to happen anyway. So I'm saying they got to show a win for the villains for it to be like okay, well the audience understands what happens. So we got to give. We already built it up, to for every the Shinju to want to go after their targets. Even when the Akatsuki were going after their targets, they were getting wins. They were taking the tail beat. They were killing people. They were getting their wins. So I'm saying the Shinju are going to get at least one win, one or two wins to get their people and see what happens. Let the audience know what will happen. Like even Jura, he's trying to find Naruto. We know once he ends up, absorbing somebody, absorbing Naruto, does he become more powerful? Does he become, does he gain all their knowledge, their powers? What happens? I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, their evolution is they're evolving in another way. That's the whole point of it, you know. So to not show their evolution would be a disservice to the fans and how they evolve. Like, you know, we know Jura can easily get the Tintails, or no, the chocolate fruit for himself, but he's not doing that. So we got to see where their evolution is going to lead. That's what they're trying to build it up to anyway. That would be a very bad writing if they don't show someone getting eaten, because why would you build this all up for them never to get a win
Well, that definitely
or
has
some kind of
nothing to
win?
do with quality of writing, but I see what you're trying to say.
Well, why would that not be good quality? That'd be bad quality writing because you build them all up and you put a mystery in front of them, and this is we're gonna send all these people up, and they're even expressed what would happen if they consumed them. What would happen if they consume their targets? They're still wondering too, and it's letting the audience want to know what will happen as well. So they're building that up, that the suspense and that questioning,
Okay.
that mystery up.
Let me ask you, do you think Boruto Naruto Next Generations is a good story?
Uh, I think towards the end it was,
It
like
was
towards the
good
middle and
writing?
the end. I
Yeah.
think it was okay writing. I think towards the end it was very good writing.
Oh, okay,
The
perfect.
middle,
So what was the payoff for the Karma Seal connection with the Byakugo Seal?
the karma
Yeah,
and the
what was the
Bakuyan's.
what was the payoff?
And why was it
Uh,
Shibai?
I was a Shibai.
Yeah, why was it Shibai?
Wait, that's a question again.
Ignore Kamui's question. Let's just go back to my question. So, what was the payoff? Since Boruto was a
Karma.
good story. So there
Well,
was a payoff.
the payoff is to show the audience that uh, Boruto has big shoes to fill, and he's supposed to be a better character than Naruto. I put him through more pain and suffering than Naruto had to go through.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
actually, that
and
makes a
make him
lot of
come out.
sense when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I hate to interrupt you, but my stomach is kind of dying, so I'm gonna head out. But thanks for having me for a couple minutes or an hour, maybe. I don't know how long I've been here.
Oh yeah, no problem, Miss And thanks for coming on.
Honestly,
And we're sorry to Miss And.
You're
yeah,
good.
we are.
Yeah, we just wanted to
We'll
apologize,
have
Miss
you on
Anne.
again.
Yeah. So I hope you can forgive us, Miss Anne, but we'll see you later. We're sorry.
No, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Thank you for accepting our apology.
All right. So
That's
back to-
probably a good place to end anyway, though, to be honest, because it's 6 a.m. for us, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wait, is it? Oh, wow, okay. It's still nighttime for
We
me.
were
So
not
whatever.
planning on being up this late originally.
Yeah.
Oh, that right. That's, you are in the east side. Okay. Eastern Standard Time. But
Yeah,
okay.
well, I mean, I'm glad that we were able to clear everything up. So, I mean, thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again soon.
What are you going to be talking about?
Boruto.
A certain part,
Yeah, all right,
like
we'll
a
see you
certain
later.
topic or whatever.